Good morning, everyone. This is Curdy Lindgren, and I'd like to welcome you again to the 12-hour day of collective healing. Our next healer is Michael Hicks, and he is going to be introducing himself here momentarily. But I wanted to also give thanks to Nicole for hosting the course registration platform on her website, theessentialnicole.com. I'd like to thank Jacqueline and the Spiritual Healing Boutique in Spokane Valley, Washington for hosting the Facebook event page. And I am the technology hostess today, and so I am taking care of all of the Zoom sessions today. So you'll be seeing me at the beginning of every event. These sessions are being recorded, so we do have your microphones turned off so that we won't have that interference during the replay. But I do want to let you know that there is a chat option. So if you activate your mouse, you'll see the chat field at the bottom. And we are going, if we have a lot of questions, we'll go ahead and have Michael answer those at the end. So Michael, thank you so much for being here today. I am so grateful, and I'm going to turn everything over to you.
All right, thank you so much for having me. Hi, again, my name is Michael Hicks, and I am a Reiki master, and I practice as Grateful Wizard Reiki in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And then I do what I call remote Reiki crystal healing virtually anywhere in the world. I do want to thank, again, Curdy Lindgren, Nicole Roninger, Jacqueline Brereton for creating the 12-hour day of collective healing and for inviting me to share today in this forum. There are many that will be doing presentations later in the day that I count as friends that have helped me in my spiritual growth, and I'm grateful and honored to be here. Also, recordings of this session will be made later. If I can help you in any way, or if you just want to learn more about Reiki or have any questions, there'll be some contact information on the event page, and you can message me at Grateful Wizard on Facebook, or go to my website, which is also Grateful Wizard, and it will take you somewhere where you can email me. Now, start off with, I want to tell you what my mission is. My mission is to help others find healing and to help heal the earth. And I'll explain how I came to that a little bit later on in the program. Now, what I'm going to do today is first I'm going to discuss Reiki, what it is, a little bit of its history, a little of how it's practiced, and then I'm going to tell a part of my story on my path to becoming a Reiki master. After that, we're going to do a guided meditation, and then at the end I'll do a Reiki share energy exchange. Well, I will invite you to participate in and exchange energy. This stuff is you. This energy is you. You don't have to have special training to be able to participate in the energy exchange. It'll be beautiful. First, explain a little bit about what Reiki is for those who may not know. It is the science and art of activating, directing, and applying the natural universal life force energy to promote healing and maintain a state of wellness. It's not a belief system. It's spiritual, but it's not any type of religion. The word Reiki is a Japanese word, and it's made up of two words, Rei and Ki. It means universal life force energy. Rei, universal, Ki, life force energy. You have an energy force in you. You may have heard people refer to your energy force as your chi. It also is called prana, mana, ka, argon, Holy Spirit, literally dozens of other names. We've all got this chi residing in us. What we're doing with Reiki is we're helping you replenish this chi by directing energy to you so this can promote your healing. Now, the actual healing system of Reiki or energy healing is older than any written account. It was probably once universal and never meant to be lost. There's evidence of this prominent in Tibet thousands of years ago. It can be traced to China, Japan. There are accounts of this in India, Egypt, back into Samaria. There are some accounts where Jesus, who was pretty famous for laying his hands on people and healing, spent part of his early life in India and probably studied some type of energy work there. The chance that he was already familiar with this, or the tribe he was in was already familiar with this, is good, because he came from the Essene tribe, and that was the ones who were the healers. Now, what we know as Reiki today was rediscovered in Japan in the mid 1800s by Dr. Mikao Usui. This was based on a mystical experience he had on Mount Kuruma. He went there and meditated for many days, and towards the end, Reiki and the Reiki symbols that we use today were shown to him during visions. Later, this practice was taken to Hawaii by Sake Takata, who taught 22 Reiki masters and began the Western exposure to this healing modality. Now, while there are several different disciplines of Reiki, everything is based off of the teachings of Usui. I myself am a master in what is called Seikim Reiki, and then I also got a master in Holy Fire Reiki. But as far as any of the practical applications of it or any of the practical things, it's all Usui based. Now, this can work with many different issues, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Many times you can have a physical condition that is actually a manifestation of a disturbance in one of the other areas. I guess one of the easiest things for someone to see, an example of this, would be if you were too much stress and that caused you a mental or an emotional type problem, some disturbances in that it can have an effect upon your physical body. And there are other things that can affect that as well. If you take the word disease and break it down, it's dis-ease. Your body is not at ease. So what we're doing with Reiki is we're trying to put your body at ease, or actually strengthen your healing ability so you heal yourself and your body comes to ease. Now, I've said the word heal a lot, and I'd like to talk about the difference between that and curing, because I'm not talking about curing, I'm talking about healing. They are different definitions, they are different things. Modern medicine, for example, is curative. If you go to the doctor, they're going to look at you and they're going to look at a specific thing that is wrong. They've even got doctors that specialize in micro things of the body. So they're going to find this one thing that's wrong with you, and they're going to treat it, whether it's with drugs or operation or some type of therapy. They're going to treat and cure this particular thing. Now, what we're talking about is healing the body. We're going to bring in energy, heal the entire body. Your body has an amazing ability to heal itself, and here's an example of how this could work. If you went to the doctor and you had a problem with your appendix hurts, well, they're going to say, well, the cure is going to be for us to do an operation and take that appendix out. So they're going to do that, and they're going to sew you up. And after a short time, they're going to send you home. But in a few days or a week, you're going to go back to see that doctor, because he wants to see how you are healing. Your body has an ability to heal itself. Now, I want to give you a little bit about my background and how I got to this spot in my life, how I became a Reiki master, and how I'm called now to help people find healing. Um, I came from a Southern Baptist background. I got away from it in my adult life. I actually referred to myself jokingly for a while as a recovered Baptist. Um, but in reality, the what happened to me wasn't really a joke. I went through a spiritual or spiritual non-awakening, I guess you would call it. And for a while, I was in this, all religions are cool, all religions are going to the same place. Everything's trying to get up to the top of this mountain, and that's where God lives. Um, as I thought and grew and grew and thought, I eventually got to the spot where it wasn't true. None of this was true. It was just a different way of telling everybody a story. Well, this was it was like a core value for me had been removed. So it was quite an experience to go through that. Then I went into a time of being at a spiritual zero for a number of years, like 15, 20 years, something like that. And where I just thought, this is it. This is all there is. And at the end of it, it's a dirt nap and it's all over. Well, in 2017, I had the good fortune to come down with a condition called AFib, which is an irregular heartbeat. So the first thing I thought was I need to start taking better care of myself, chilling out, not putting myself in situations that stress me out so bad, start eating better, and a number of these things. I actually, at the time, had a banjo that had followed me around for most of my life, and I'd never really learned to play. And I found the modal tuning, the Appalachian type style, to be very, very cathartic. So I modified this banjo to become a claw hammer type banjo and sat outside in the woods in the lake in Coeur d'Alene and taught myself to play it just completely by sound. And that sound was cathartic and kind of put me into some type of meditation. We have a very good friend who actually officiated our wedding, and she's a shaman and does Reiki. And my wife suggested that we go see her, and I have a Reiki session to see if it could help with my AFib. Well, I had that session, and it just absolutely blew me away. The energy, the things that it stirred up inside me, stuff that I just couldn't close down and move away from. We had dinner with them after the Reiki session, and I sat at the table in just a state of wonder, hardly even talking during the entire meal. Well, within 2 weeks, I was in a spiritual mentorship with this shaman, and then soon after that was studying Reiki. By November, I had received training in level 1 and 2, was certified at level 1 and 2 of Reiki, and began practicing. Now, in 2018, what they had told me was AFib started to get worse, and I started to have more problems and more weaknesses. So I'm at the doctors telling them something's wrong, something is wrong, something is wrong. Well, they continue to go through a combination of increasing your medicine or changing your medicine, and then increasing that again and changing it to something else. Well, eventually they went through enough combinations that I wound up in the emergency room because my blood pressure dropped so low I couldn't stand up without falling over. they did a couple of other tests, and what they found was I had this really weird, rare condition. I had multiple myeloma cancer, and it had caused a condition called amyloidosis, which is where a protein runs around your body and gets stuck somewhere, a misshapen protein that's caused by the cancer. Well, for me, it was sticking in my heart, not in the blood vessels or the arteries or anything like that, but in the muscle. So the heart muscle was getting bigger, which was causing the chambers to get smaller. So I was just losing volume. Um, Now, as you can imagine, that wasn't good news, but I didn't take it as the end of the world. I really didn't. I sat down and made a plan. I was well along the spiritual path, so it was easy for me to try to look at it and draw on positivity. First thing I did was I got rid of as much negative stuff in my life as humanly possible. I became extremely selfish with my energy. Anybody that was a negative Nelly, I just avoided them. I didn't necessarily have a confrontation and go, I'm not going to be your friend again. I just pulled back and pulled away from them. I also quit watching the news. I still don't watch it. Most of the stuff I found out is kind of from osmosis. Uh, Somebody will talk about something and I'll go, what? And then they'll explain it to me. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. In fact, oddly enough, when the coronavirus stuff started, me and my wife were eating in a Mexican restaurant here in Coeur d'Alene on a Sunday, and the waitress told us that tomorrow we're going to be takeout only. And we were going, why is that? And she had to explain it to us. So that's how I found out about that. But anyway, back to the positivity. I got rid of negativity and then brought in positivity. I didn't go out and blast it to the world that I was sick because I didn't want a pity party. I didn't want that energy. Um, I was also fortunate enough that I knew a number of people who were involved in Reiki. So I was able to do a Reiki session every week, and I had about a half a dozen people that were sending me Reiki every week. Some of them knew what was going on, I told, and some of them I just said, hey, I need some energy. I need you to send me this energy. Now, my recovery, I did chemotherapy. Looking back at it now, if I had it to go over again, I might not, but I'm not telling anybody what to do. Do what you feel like you need to do. Now, why did I do it? Well, looking back now, because I thought I needed to. And since I thought I needed to, I did. And that combined with the meditation, combined with the Reiki, it worked. I was supposed to do 24 weeks of chemotherapy and then go into a 2-year program where I would be doing in-home stuff. At some point after a couple of years, maybe my heart would be strong enough to withstand the bone marrow transplant. So that was my prognosis. I did 15 weeks and I've been off everything for 2.5 years. I was basically cleared out 70-80% of the stuff that's built up in my heart in about 6 months, and I've been fine. They look at me every so often just to check my blood because that's what they like to do, but I'm, for all practical purposes, healed. Now, the meditation was an extremely important part of that, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later on when I talk about some energy. But the meditation helped connect me into my higher self, into source for healing, and that's part of it: getting out of your mind, getting into your higher self, into source for energy. Somewhere right after that, it was around December. I think I was cut loose of everything in September into December. I had the knowledge that I was supposed to pursue Reiki. and I was supposed to help people heal. Um, Somewhere after that, I started training in Reiki again to become a master and a master teacher. And I got a master teacher in Sikkim Reiki. And then right after that, I trained in Holy Fire Reiki. In this process, mission statement, I said something about that earlier. I was eating lunch with my wife, Paula, and I was having a whining moment because of frustrations. Frustrations of world, frustrations of ego, frustrations of mind. And she was giving me the buck up, pull your head out of your butt talk. And I looked at her and I said, I just want to help people heal and help heal the earth. And that just hit me like, wow, that's it. That's my mission statement. I just want to help people heal and help heal the earth. And that's what I've been working towards ever since. Now, I want to talk a little bit deeper about the energy sense that is involved in Reiki, and the energies that's involved in a whole lot of things. But I am coming to the thought that energy is always there. It's flowing all the time. It's our mind that puts up barriers that keep us from our manifestations. Whether it's healing, physical, emotional, spiritual, whether it's material desires, whatever it is, our mind is putting up the blocks that are keeping us away from this energy. There are barriers that keep us from receiving. Or in other words, your mind causes all your illness by separating you from who you really are. You are source energy, manifest in a human form. Your body is made up of 50 trillion cells. Each one of them has 1.4 volts, which means you're walking around with something like 70 trillion volts of energy in your body. We're a physical manifestation of source energy. We can command these cells. We can command these cells to heal. Now, what I've found is the best way to access this is to become centered. Now, think about how you hear your thoughts. If you think something, you hear it. Okay, who's hearing it? Somebody's got to be thinking it. Somebody's got to be hearing it. That's the real you that's hearing. Our mind is a supercomputer. It's programmed to protect us. So look at life in long ago time, and you're wandering through the woods, and you're all centered, and it's a beautiful day in the forest because that's all there is. And all of a sudden, a mountain lion or a tiger or a bear jumps out and goes, "Rawr." Well, immediately, all the energy goes into your hands, into your feet, because your body is getting ready to either fight or run. It's going to get ready to run, climb a tree, pick up a stick, pick up a rock, whatever it's got to do to protect the body. So you throw a rock at the critter, and it freaks out and runs away. Whew. You relax. Again, you're centered. Now we live in a world that keeps us stressed out, that keeps us in fear 24/7 if you'll let it. We're trained and manipulated by fear for the better parts of our lives. We live with our mind in control, and we become its servant because those that control us know, and they've known this for centuries, if our mind is in control, they can control our mind. Now, the Trinity, if you look at it, is body, mind, spirit. That's the Trinity. That's the Holy Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So how do we connect with this self, this source energy? Well, what I've found and what my experience is, it's more technique than anything else. It's not necessarily will or intent, but it's technique. So you can't necessarily meditate yourself out of your mind with your mind. Like, I'm going to get out of my mind. I'm going to still my mind. All right, now my mind is being still. You've got to trick it to get out of it with technique. Now, a Western thought, which is extremely effective and is used by a lot of people in very positive ways, is to look at the mind and try to heal what's in the mind. Try to heal these things that have happened to us during our life, and then heal the mind, and then we can move up into connecting with higher self. What I'm becoming more and more appreciative of is what could be considered Eastern thought, which is connect to higher self, become the observer, then look at the mind, quiet the mind to connect. Now, when I was healing, I kind of backed into this with my meditations. I meditated every morning. I meditated every evening. I had some absolutely incredible visions during the meditations. At one point, I called in Kundalini energy. It climbed up, it lived in my belly, came up and sat behind my third eye. I didn't even know what it was. I looked at it sometime later and went, wow, I did this. So this can be as simple to get started as breathing techniques. Just quiet the mind, become your true self, and become the observer. Now I'm going to give you one little technique, and then we're going to go into the guided meditation part. And this isn't necessarily the only way. There's got to be hundreds of ways to do this. So if you have something that works for you, or you find something that works, definitely go with it. But there's a lot of stuff that's done with breath work, a lot of stuff that's done with breath and yoga. So there's something to that. Start by thinking of your breath when you breathe in is going down. Then when you exhale, it's going up. Down, in, and out is up. Now, don't necessarily concentrate on this. Just be aware of it. Your breath's coming in, it's going down. Your breath is going out, it's going up. Now, I want you to notice, again, not concentrate on, but just be aware. When you breathe in, there's a small gap before you breathe out. And when you breathe out, there is a small gap before you breathe back in. Try to move into these gaps. There's one spot where it's not coming in and out, it's just still. There's another spot where it's not coming in or out, it's just still. Start moving in to these spots, and this will help to quiet the mind. Now, if you would, get to a comfortable spot, and we'll start with the meditation. Then as soon as the meditation is over, I'll give you a few moments to sit quietly. And then we'll move into the Reiki share, the energy exchange part. Okay, let's start by just imagining it's a beautiful sunny day. You're walking in a forest. You can feel the earth beneath your feet, grounding you, connecting you to its energy. You can feel the energy of the sun as it shines down from the heavens, bathing you in its light and in its energy. As you continue to walk, you breathe in deeply. You feel the breath as it rises and fills your lungs. You feel it again as you exhale. You continue your walk, enjoying the energy that you feel. You can feel it from the forest and everything around you. Soon the path you are on leads to a small stream and follows along beside it as you move deeper into the forest. As you walk, you enjoy the relaxing sound of the bubbling water as it flows through the forest. Soon the path leads to a place where some time ago a large tree has fallen. It's fallen across the stream, spanning it from bank to bank. You can tell that the log has been here for quite some time. The branches on it are gone, and you can tell others have been using it to cross the stream for a long, long time. It appears to be strong and sturdy, so you climb on it to cross the stream. As you get to the middle of the log, you decide to stop and sit and reflect upon the stream and its peaceful beauty. On your right, you notice the water as it flows to you. You can see the stream's energy. You can see the light from the sun as it bounces off of it. You can see the bottom of the stream and make out the rocks and the pebbles as the water flows towards you. Now, if you look to your left, you can see the water flowing away from you. You can see the energy from the sun as it dances off the ripples in the water. You can make out the pebbles and rocks on the bottom of the stream. To your right, the water is flowing to you. To your left, it is flowing away. You remain centered on the log in the middle of the stream. To the right, the water is the future as it flows towards you. You have no control on it except to observe. To your left, the water is the past flowing away from you. You have no control over it except to observe. From your place on the log, you are the watcher. You are the observer. You see the future as the stream flows to you. You see it become the past as it flows away. You are centered in mind, in body, in spirit. Future and past are there to be observed. You remain grounded and at peace with all. After a short while, you decide to continue on down the stream. You follow it and come to a place where it flows around several large rocks. You climb onto one of the rocks and sit in the warm sun. As you look into the stream, you can see the water flowing into a swirling eddy just above the rock on which you sit. You gaze at the eddy as it flows in a clockwise motion. After a while, you notice the water on the outer edge of the eddy is flowing rather fast. But as you move your gaze towards the center of the eddy, it becomes slower and slower. You move your gaze to the center of the eddy, and you notice it is perfectly calm. While the water near it is flowing downstream and is surrounded by circular flow, the center is calm and peaceful. The water is very clear. You can see all the earth and rocks at the bottom of the stream. It grounds you to the earth's energy. You can see the energy from the sun as it reflects and dances in the surfaces of the stream and opens you up to universal energy. You gaze at this peaceful, still water. As you gaze at this water, now is the time to release all that does not serve you. Ground yourself into the stream. Open up to the energy from the heavens. Relax into this peaceful, still water. Relax into this emotion. Relax into this feeling. All right, let's go ahead now and we'll start with the energy exchange. I'm going to do a couple of Reiki symbols just to get the energy started. Now let's start from the heart and an intent of love, an intent to connect with higher self and to all the other higher selves participating and that will participate. Be open to receive. Be open to send healing energy. Now you can focus your energy here if you want. You can send it here. You can send it somewhere in your imagination. That's absolutely fine. It will know where to go. Let's start by sending and receiving healing energy, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Now let's start at the top of our heads. Imagine this energy flowing to the top of your head, flowing to your crown. Feel it as it flows in past your third eye, on past your cheeks, down to your chin, your neck. Feel this energy as it flows from your shoulders, out through your arms, past your elbows, your wrist, out to your hands and your fingers. Now feel this energy as it continues on down your chest to your abdomen, on past your hips, on past your legs, your knees, down to your feet, grounding you. Let's let this energy flow. Send and receive this energy for a few moments. Now let's direct this energy, this healing energy, to the earth. Let's send it to the land, to the trees, to the mountains, to the streams, to the oceans, to all creatures, to all humans. Let's direct this healing energy to the earth. Physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, spiritual healing. Let's let this energy flow. I'd like to end this energy exchange with the 5 precepts of Reiki. And they are: today, I will not be angry. Today, I will not worry. Today, I will be grateful. Today, I will work diligently. Today, I will show compassion for others. I want to thank everyone for being here. I hope it's been informative. I hope that some of my words have helped someone. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, need any help with anything, or just have questions about Reiki. I'm authentic and I'm sincere about helping you if I can help in any way. You can find contact information on the event page, and then you can message me again at Grateful Wizard on Facebook, or go to my website, which is gratefulwizard.com, and it'll take you to a place to email me. And again, I want to thank Curdy Kendring, Nicole Roninger, Jacqueline Brereton for creating the 12-hour day of collective healing and for inviting me to share today. I'm Michael Hicks with Grateful Wizard Reiki, love and light.
Thank you so much, Michael. We just appreciate so much that you came here to offer this amazing healing today.
Thank you for having me.
Grateful. Yeah, thank you for being part of the 12-hour day of collective healing. And I want to thank all of the attendees. And remember that, as Michael mentioned, his contact information will be available at his session information on www.theessentialnicole.com, where you registered. And the replay will be available. The replay of his session will be available in about 48 hours. So you can go back and receive this healing anytime. Thank you again so much, Michael.
Thank you. Love and light.
Yes, love and light to you. Have a wonderful day. And I'm going to stop the recording now.
All right. Thank you.